All right. I'm welcoming you to chair yoga for the care of Waldenstroms or whatever ails you today. So we're not just our disease. We have a lot, as human beings, we have a lot of layers, a lot of different things that could be going on. So I like to say in all the classes, you are welcome here in whatever state of being you're in. Today's class, I wanted to focus on just recharging. And that could mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but that's our basic theme. We're here to recharge. Things that we have learned along the way as the wellness program has been developed, physical activity is the #1 intervention for cancer-related fatigue. Now, you may or may not experience fatigue. You may experience fatigue and not know whether it's cancer-related, age-related, or whatever related. But it has been shown, physical activity has been shown to really help with cancer-related fatigue. So it goes a little bit against what intuition would tell you, like I'm tired, I should rest. But if you're tired, maybe a little bit of movement would be good. And in our yoga classes, especially our gentle yoga class, we look to recharge ourselves through gentle movement so that we don't deplete ourselves. So there's a sort of a balance there. And Betty Ann joining us as well. And Carol. So great to see such a large class. So we're getting settled here, and I wanted to let you know that over the weekend, aside from having a great time with my dad, who was diagnosed with Waldenstrom's in 2019, and he got to catch fish and see his brothers and all kinds of good things, I received so many emails from people all over the world looking to participate in our wellness program. Emails from Norway, from Sweden, from UK, from New Zealand, and from Greece. And we have, some of those folks joining us today. And it's just really touching and wonderful to know how our wellness program has grown as a result of your participation and your donations. So thank you for giving me a job. Let's go ahead and get started today. I'm just going to start by rubbing my hands together. And if you're wearing glasses, you might want to take your glasses off. So we're going to take care of the eyes for a moment. And as I rub my hands together gently, I'm just going to take a moment to infuse my hands with kindness. But I'm going to point towards myself as I gently cup my palms over my eyes, feel my feet on the earth, my seat in the chair, and begin to take some easy breaths, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Letting the eyes rest as I breathe in and out. I'm just arriving in whatever state of being I'm in. Starting with a little palming exercise to recharge the eyes. Maybe you want to roll the eyes around a little bit. And then when you're ready, you can slowly move the hands down. Replace the glasses if you took them off. And we'll get started with some movements head to toe. So simple, easy movements you can do to move the energy in your body. Let's go ahead and get started with some arm raises. So I'm going to bring my arms at my sides. I'm just going to lift my arms up and then bring my arms down, palms facing down. It's just an easy, simple movement to get my energy flowing, breathing in, breathing out. Doesn't matter how high you can move your arms. Maybe it's just a little bit. Maybe you're skipping this today or anything else that doesn't feel right to you. Finding my breath, doing what feels right for me. And I'm going to notice, what are the things that energize me? And this might be a theme you take throughout the rest of your day. Who are the people that energize me? Where are the places that energize me? Like if you go out into nature, is it energizing for you? So we'll take 3 more of these arm raises. Maybe it's just one arm, maybe it's both. Saying hi to Jennifer, saying hi to Jane, welcoming you. And one last one as we move the arms, we're moving the lymph fluid as well. Another way we can move the lymph fluid, which is so important in caring for Waldenstroms, because we're immunocompromised with this disease. So anything we can do to support immune system health is great. Movement supports immune system health, but so does simply breathing. Deep breathing, not deep breathing, excuse me, calm breathing. So if I were to say to you, oh, take a deep breath, you hear people say that you're all anxious and you're freaking out about something, and they say, take a deep breath. Well, taking a deep breath, is actually kind of stimulating, and it's activating the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight and flight side of our nervous system. What we would rather have for our breathing that's supportive of immune system health is calm belly breathing. So it takes a little while for me to get there. I can't just dive into calm belly breathing. So let's start with breathing into a few different places in the body. We'll do some more movement, and then we'll finally get to a full diaphragmatic breath where we're doing breathing into 3 different parts of the body. So without further ado, I'm going to just rest my hands on my chest. And as I breathe, I'm going to lift my hands with my chest. So this is probably something that comes pretty easily to most people, breathing into the chest and feeling all of the lung capacity at the top of the lungs. Perhaps that's you. Maybe there's just a little bit of lung capacity at the top of the lungs. So I'm feeling the movement of my breath in my chest. And now I'll just slide my hands down to my rib cage. And I'm going to breathe in and see if I could lift my hands with my breath, breathing into my hands and letting the rib cage expand and contract. Just a few times, just a little taste of it. Maybe you can move this part of the body with your breath. Maybe it doesn't come very easily. We're just exploring. All right, and then I'm going to rest my hands on my belly, and I might give my belly a little rub, especially if I'm experiencing any digestive issues today. And then I'll just rest my hands on my belly, and I'll let my belly be the size it actually is. I'm not trying to suck my gut in. I'm going to actually soften here. I might close my eyes and see if I could breathe and allow the belly to fill, lifting my hands and releasing. So maybe it's a very small movement, belly rising, belly falling. Finding a few breaths here. Maybe you can feel the breath in the belly, maybe you can't. Beautiful. And then I'll just rest my hands in my lap for a moment, and we'll come back to that whole breath. Just wanted to give you a little taste of where you can feel the breath in the body, and also in the back, so many other parts of the body, even the hip flexors. So I'm just going to move a little bit now. Some of us carry our attention in our necks. So I'm just moving my head from side to side, and I'm letting my arms rest at my sides so they're heavy. I'm breathing into center, breathing out to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the side. Breathing in, breathing out. You can move at your own pace. You could do something different. One more on each side. Coming back to center, I'm going to stretch my right arm out to the right and bring a lot of space between my fingers. A lot of space, and I'm tilting my fingers back towards my face. Big wrist stretch. And then I'll make a fist around my thumb and drop my knuckles down. See how this feels for you. We're breathing in, lifting, spreading. Breathing out, knuckles down. And one more inhale, spread. Exhale, release. Good, and then I'll leave my palm lifted and tilt my left ear away from the arm, and I'm just circling the palm. Little circles that move downward a little bit at a time. Here to care for myself, to recharge my energy, to connect with my community. And we're taking that arm behind the back or resting the hand on the hip and spin that chin down. So I'm looking at my left shoulder and I'm taking a few easy breaths. You'll always hear me say, take an easy breath. I'm not telling you to take a deep breath. We're taking those easy breaths. And then we'll go ahead and just notice the difference between your sides and what could feel like energy in that right side, vitality in the right side. Maybe it's warmth. Bring my left arm to the left. Lots and lots of space between the fingers and tipping the fingers back. So wrist stretch, you've got it, Christos, beautiful. And then I'm making a fist around my thumb, dropping the knuckles down. Breathing in, lifting, spreading. Breathing out, knuckles down. You got it, very nice. Last one. Some of us caring for a lot of issues in the hands. So here we are, caring for the hands. I'm leaving that palm lifted and tilting my right ear away from the arm and just circling the palm so I can bring a little bit of gentle motion into the shoulder. And as I breathe out, maybe the arm comes down a little bit, moving down a little bit at a time. And we're taking the arm behind the back. And then we can spin the chin down, take a peek at that shoulder, and a couple of easy breaths here. You might feel pretty tight in the shoulders today. Maybe you're loose in the shoulders. And then we'll come back up and I'll open the arms out to the sides and maybe even a little back behind me as I lift my chest and arch my back. So I'm doing the opposite of rounding my back. And then I'll interlace my fingers in front and just pull the arms away a little bit. So I'm creating some space in my upper back. You've got it. Inhaling, opening, arching the back. Exhaling, interlacing the fingers, palms facing you, and pull the arms away. And you can do a few of these at your own pace. Right? If this feels like too much, you can skip it. Let's take one more of these. These back bends can be kind of energizing. And then from here, I'll go ahead and press my palms away and just juice up the fingers. Get some lubrication, i.e. synovial fluid, flowing in my fingers. So many of us wake up with stiff joints in the morning, and movement is medicine. Movement is medicine for osteoarthritis. So go ahead and just circle the wrists. And of course, if you haven't been in the class before, and this is your first class here, my philosophy is really do what you can and focus on what you can do. And that's what you all tell me over time really has stuck with you. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm just going to shake my hands out. and bring my hands once again down at my sides. I'm sitting up away from the back of my chair, so I'm using my core muscles, sitting up nice and tall, arms at the sides, and I'll lift my arms all the way up and bring my hands through the midline of my body to heart center. Breathing in, arms rise. Breathing out, hands to heart center. Maybe you want to close your eyes as we do 3 more of these arm salutes. Bringing the hands to heart center to create some equilibrium, the right and left hemispheres of the brain and the nervous system. And maybe I'm just going to add 1 more so that I can stay here in my Anjali Mudra, the hands at heart center, for 1 or 2 more breaths. And as I feel the press of my hands, I might even push into my hands a little bit. I can close my eyes and imagine this amazing, broad spread WM community that we have created all over the world. And we can receive support from one another just by being here in this moment. All right, and then releasing that, rubbing the hands together, making any other motions with the hands or the fingers that would feel good to you. Maybe you have some water nearby, you'd like to take a sip of that. And if you don't, and you need to get up and get something, go ahead and do it. I'm going to move to a little bit of a farther away position. So moving the energy in my body, I want to move the spine as well. So I'll bring a little bit of space between my feet. So I have a wider stance. And one of the best things I can do for my spinal health is to move the spine in all directions unless I'm in discomfort, right? Unless I'm in pain, then I will probably stay away from doing that. And one of the motions that we barely ever make throughout our daily routine is lateral flexion or side bending. And this is a very great way to sort of juice up the spine. So I'm going to lift my right arm up and over, or maybe rest the hand on the hip if you have shoulder issues. And I can imagine what's happening in my spine. All of the discs on this right side are getting a little bit of breathing room, and on the left side, they're getting a little bit of compression. And then as I come back to center and do the other on the other side, the opposite will be true. And we're just moving from side to side at our own pace. So nice to see you, Marty. So glad you're here. We're breathing in and moving at our own pace. And it's not necessarily so much about how far can I bend, but more about reaching and creating that space. And a nice side benefit of that, I think I say this quite a lot, is that we're stretching the muscles between the ribs. Those muscles between the ribs that help us with breathing. Beautiful. Last one. Then I'll bring my arms out to the sides like a cactus or a goalpost. And my legs are energized. My core is working. Then I'm just going to take a little tiny twist to the right. Come back to center, breathing in. Little tiny twist to the left. Coming back to center, breathing in. Twisting as far as feels good to me. With my breath, leading the way. Finding one more on each side. And then as I come back to center, I'm going to give myself a hug and tuck my chin and take another easy breath. Releasing my hands, I'll grab onto my chair and just walk my feet in and out, walking my feet in and out and trying to keep my core really stable here. So I'm juicing up my hip joints, walking in and out, holding on, and I'm trying not to really move too much from side to side with my torso. That's great. Really nice, Sally. And then we'll go ahead, and the next time you walk back, you can stay there. And I'm just gonna lift my right leg up, squeeze as hard as you wanna go, and then switch sides. Lift the left leg up, big squeeze, and release. So juicing up the knees. It's some of us caring for knee issues, so you're going to modify. You're going to take really good care of yourself today. Good, and then now I'm going to bring my right leg forward with the foot, the heel, resting on the earth. And I'm going to pump that toe down and lift it back up. So I'm pumping the foot. These little foot pumps are something that our exercise physiologist, Nancy Campbell, at Dana-Farber, Zeckham Center for Integrative Therapies, recommends for peripheral neuropathy. One of the things, well, just one of the things you can do to help support your whole system, including the lower limbs. If this is where you experience PN, it could be helpful. And then I'm going to switch sides. So it's so nice to know the why behind everything. And the reasoning behind these foot pumps is that we're caring for the structure of the foot and the lower limb. We can't really change what's happening on a nerve level, but we can support the well-being of all of the structure surrounding the nerves. So that's the reasoning for that. All right. And then I'll come back and I'll just notice the energy in my body. Maybe I want to take a sip of water or take a couple breaths here. And then I'll share with you one of my favorite ways to get the energy flowing in yoga, and they're called sun salutations. Some of you may practice sun salutations in a mat class. And see, I'm all warmed up. I'm turning the AC a little bit. It's very hot here where I am. I've adapted these for the chair. So we're going to move through one sun salutation really slowly, and then we'll do two more. But before we do, one of the movements in our chair yoga sequence is a forward fold. And that could be different for you, and you might want to take caution if you have osteoporosis or any back issues. So you might not want to fold all the way forward if that's you. In fact, why don't you go ahead and find what feels like a good forward fold for you. This could be as far as you go, and you could keep a flat back. If you have vertigo or glaucoma, you might stay lifted as well, right? Or there might be a little farther you have to travel. So just doing what feels good to you, finding what your forward fold is like today, and then we'll move through our sun salutation. All right, come on up. So it's good to sort of know what all the movements are. The other movement we're going to be doing that we didn't necessarily expressly do is a cobra. So I'm going to bring my hands to my chair and lift my heart and squeeze my shoulder blades. So it's that little back bend. And that's going to be part of our chair yoga sun salutation today. Now with this, some of us are caring for neck issues. Please, if that's you and lifting the chin exacerbates things, keep the chin level with the earth. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm coming to a mountain pose, my seated mountain pose. My feet are on the earth, my hands are at my sides, and I'm going to move through this first sun salutation really slowly. Inhaling the arms out and up. As we exhale, we're going to fold forward as far down as feels safe. Inhale, come up a little bit. Exhale, reach the arms forward. Good. Inhale, arms rising up. Exhale, hands behind you, grab the chair. Inhale, cobra, lift the heart. Exhale, one more time, we're reaching forward, core is engaged. And then finally, the arms rise up, and we bring the hands to heart center, as we did in our arm salutes. So that's one whole sun salute, and now we'll do two more at your own pace, whatever feels good. So we're breathing in, arms rise. Breathing out, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, reach the arms forward, so strong. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swing the arms back, grab onto your chair. Inhale, lift the heart, little back bend. Exhale, reach forward, lean forward, arms reaching. And finally, inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to heart center. Okay, so you might want to just stay here and breathe, or you could do one more with me. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, slow fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, reach the arms forward, lean forward. Good. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swing those arms back behind you, grab the chair. Inhale, heart lift. Exhale, reach forward, so strong. You got it, Judith. And finally, inhale the arms up and bring the hands to heart center and find 3 easy breaths. Recharging with my breath. Maybe you can feel the belly move, the rib cage, the chest. All right. So now I'm getting ready to stand up and do a few standing postures. You can always choose to stay seated if you have low energy or any other issues going on today. So coming up to stand, maybe I take a moment, take a little sip of water. And maybe you like to have your chair nearby just in case you need it for some balance. I'm just going to start by walking in place. I'm walking in place and I'm noticing maybe my arms are not moving too much. Maybe I want to try moving my arms a little more. You've got it. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Right? So when I lift my left leg, my right arm lifts. When I lift my right leg, my left arm lifts. And my core is really stable and strong as I walk in place. I'm breathing. You got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And so nice to see you there, Marnie. So now we'll work with the feet and the toes a little bit. I'm going to come up onto my tiptoes and release back down. And I'm holding onto my chair or my hands are on my hips. This is how I'm going to start off with my toe lifts. And if I'm sitting in the chair, I could work with my toes in any way that feels good. Maybe I would like to incorporate some arm movement. Maybe it's one or both arms lifting up as I lift up and floating down as I float down. I'm breathing in and breathing out. And as I took my morning walk this morning, friends, I saw an owl. It was a barred owl and it flew right by my face. It was so close to me and it was the most beautiful, beautiful creature. I just couldn't believe how lucky I was to see it. Living out here in the woods. Yeah, so maybe I just lift one hand at a time and hold onto the chair. That's excellent. We'll take one more. You got it, Betty Ann. Beautiful. Floating your way down. And then I'll take a little recharge rest with a downward dog. So I'm going to take some steps away from my chair. I'm going to place my hands on something. Maybe it's a counter, maybe it's my chair. And I'm getting a good stretch for the backs of my legs and for my back as well. And you could even do this with the hands on the wall. If you have vertigo or glaucoma, you can keep the head lifted. And we're finding our breath. And then when you're ready, coming up nice and slow, we'll step the right foot forward and bring the left foot at a little bit of an angle. My torso is nice and upright, so I'm in a warrior one foot shape here. And if I feel wobbly, I'll walk my right foot to the right. And maybe I would like to hold on to the chair, or maybe I would like to bring my arms at my sides. And as I inhale, I'm going to lift both arms up and straighten my knee. And as I exhale, I'm going to sink down, bending my knee and bringing my hands to heart center. Breathing in, breathing out, or doing whatever part of this feels good to me. Noticing what energizes me without depleting. And maybe there's one more. And then I'm just stepping out of this. I'll shorten my stance. Both legs are straight. I'm holding onto my chair and taking a bow and resting my forearms or my hands or whatever's available on the back of my chair here. So I can feel a good stretch in that right leg. And if you need to find another way to do this to come down a little bit farther, that's an option. Tucking the chin if I have neck issues, which I do. I most certainly do. All right, and then we'll walk ourselves up and we'll switch sides. So let's step the left foot forward and bring the right foot back at an angle. Bend into that left knee. So I feel balanced. I might walk my left foot to the left a little bit. And I'm squeezing that right glute muscle. And when I'm ready, if I feel safe doing so, I'm going to lift both arms up, straighten my leg, and sink hands to heart center, bending my knee. Breathing in, reaching for my recharge, and exhaling, sinking down, moving at your own pace. You got it, Sharon, beautiful. You could take one more. So nice, Jennifer. You got it. And then we'll step our way out of this and into our next posture with both legs straight and the shorter stance. And we're just tipping the heart forward, right? Maybe you rest your hands on the chair. Maybe there's another way you like to practice this. Feeling a good stretch in the back of my left leg, tucking that chin. And then I'll walk my way up. And once again, I'm going to walk it out a little bit. I could march in place if I'm seated, right? Or I could just walk. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And this time, I'm going to see how high I can comfortably lift my knees. You got it. Really nice, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking a moment to stand or sit in our mountain pose. So I've got my feet on the earth, about hip distance apart. I have my chair here. I can hold on to that if I need to. But I'm going to try to do mountain pose today with my eyes closed. I can move my mind down to my feet. Feel the energy in my legs. My heart is lifted. My shoulders are soft. Fingertips alive. The crown of my head reaching into the heavens. And as I breathe in, I could draw up energy and nourishment. As I breathe out, I'm grounding myself in the earth. And I could even, in my mind's eye, imagine a mountain. Imagine I am the mountain. And the base of my mountain is my feet, and the top of my mountain is my snowy peaks. This helps if you're also going gray, like I am. I'm breathing into the peaks of my mountain and breathing out down to the very deepest part. And when you're ready, you can open the eyes and we'll do a little bit of balance work. So with that visual in mind, you know, that sort of really grounded, centered visualization, we'll see how that affects our balance. Maybe it'll help. So I'm going to hold on to my chair. We're just standing on one leg. So a little bend to both knees. And I'm going to start with the weight in my right foot, pick up my left leg, and hug it in. And maybe I'm still feeling that little bit of mountain in me, that strength of that mountain. But I'm going to let myself wobble a little bit and fall out of it if I need to. I'm working on finding my actual edge. Right, so I'm just lifting my leg up. My hands are at my sides, so my leg is being lifted on its own. That's good. Really nice. And then we'll kick it out and switch sides. All right, clearly I need to make this harder for some of you. The next side, if it's easy, you can close your eyes. Try closing your eyes. So a little bend. Weight will come in the left leg. I'm picking up my right leg, just holding my leg up and trying to find my sense of center and calm and mountain. And if I feel like this is too easy, I'll try it with my eyes closed. And if I'm seated in a chair, I could visualize myself doing this. All right. And then kicking it out, very nice. Kicking it out, walking it out, and we'll take one more downward dog before we sit back down. So I've got my hands, maybe it's on the wall, my counter, my chair. Taking a stretch here. Finding my breath. Right, if there's another posture I'd rather do, I could do that. And then when I'm ready, I'll slowly come up. I'll take another sip of water and come to mindfully sit if you're not already there. Beverly, that was not directed at you. So coming to sit, and we'll get into our just a little bit of winding down. I have 2 more stretches, and then I brought my singing bowls, so we're going to be doing some breathing with the singing bowls for stress management. You know, this whole business of watching and waiting, the language of that just feels stressful, right? Watching and waiting. So managing stress is always going to be a part of our classes. Let's cross this right ankle over the left knee. Right? So whatever of this feels good to you, you can manage. Maybe it's not quite this posture, but making it accessible for yourself. And while I'm here, I might just massage that right foot. Say hello to my toes. Thank my foot for all the work it's done in these last 53, almost 54 years. So my birthday's coming up, my friends, and I'm in a birthday mood, just feeling grateful for life. I'm going to grab onto my shin and reach my heart forward. So I'm feeling this stretch in my right hip. I'm going to soften my shoulders. I might gaze at the floor and just take a few breaths. Letting go of the exhalation all the way out. Ready to come out of it, I'll sit up and cross that right knee all the way over. So same side, I've got the right knee nestling on top of the left, and I'm going to twist my body to the right. Maybe it's just a little twist, and I'm peeking over my right shoulder. So I'm getting a good twist here, which can help my spine health and it can help with digestion. Coming back to center. And switching sides, we'll do those same two things on the other side. So left ankle over the right knee or thereabouts. Taking a moment to rub the bottom of the foot. It's so nice to see you, Joyce. If I didn't say your name at the beginning, I'm seeing you now. And grabbing onto the shin when you're ready and just finding your version of this. Maybe I lean forward a little bit if I want more sensation. Softening where I can soften. Beginning to let go of doing, doing, doing. When I'm ready, I'll come out of it. Cross my knee over, take a little tiny twist to the left. As I twist to the left, my spine is tall, that crown of my head lifting to the heavens, peeking over that left shoulder perhaps. Maybe my shoulders can let go a little bit as well. And slowly returning to center, I'll just give my tummy a little rub here. And then we'll come to a short breath meditation with singing bowls. So go ahead and find a really nice, comfortable posture where you're still upright. And I'll offer you the idea, you can try this, or you could just do whatever breathing feels good to you, to try to feel the breath moving in the belly, in the rib cage, in the chest, and back down from there. Can you hear those bowls okay? Give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay, so we're breathing in, belly, rib caged chest, breathing out, letting it all go. Finding my breath rhythm. Letting it be easy. Just following the flow of my breath in and out. Can you take 3 more breaths with me? And we'll close our session today with our hands at heart center and feeling the connection of this wonderful community. Know that you are not alone. Taking a breath in and a breath out. And if you care to, you can join me in the creating of one Om, breathing in for Om. And thanking you so much for your practice.